Hello, folks. Welcome to the 5D New Human Spiritual Quest podcast, where we talk about being a 5D new human, the 5D new human frequency. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you've come before, welcome back. In the next few minutes, you're going to be exposed to information that you probably have not heard of. It's going to be information that's new to you. It's going to be information that can create a little curiosity. It creates some cracks in your perception. It can create some understandings that perhaps you've never contemplated before. Right now, our world is in a massive transition. Some people call it a spiritual awakening. Some people call it a spiritual breakdown. Some people think it's Armageddon. Some people think we're in the last days, where the Bible talks about critical times, hard to deal with, would be here. And we seem to be living in those days right now. Well, regardless of the words that we use, the 5D new human is a frequency, and it's a feeling, and it's a feeling of knowing. And you know what you know. You know what you feel. You know what the frequency of life is, because in fact, when you breathe in deep, you have a pulse inside of you that makes you human. The 5D new human is just acknowledging the fact that, yes, first and foremost, I am alive. I am biology itself. My heart pumps without me. My digestive system works without me. I am alive. I am whole, right? I feel a lot of discomfort. I feel a lot of anxiety. I feel a lot of worries. I feel a lot of these things around me. Those are all frequencies. And those frequencies are becoming more and more frequent. And they're going off the charts. Come to 5D, you just vibe above it. You watch it all happening. You can see it all happening. You can see people going crazy. You can see people freaking out. You can see people following their dreams. You see all these new things happening. You see new 5D, new human perception podcasts like this one. You find new humans popping up everywhere. And it's a new frequency, and it's love, and it's light, and it's happy, and it's joyful, right? This is not a religion, right? This is not a philosophy, right? This is a knowing. This is you knowing that you are, in fact, God's source. That pumping through you, that pumping that goes through your chest, that is life itself. That life itself flows through everything, and it flows through you. And you are a piece of that life force. That life force is God. That's source energy. That's love and light. That's who you are. That's who we are as human beings. And right now, as the AIs are coming online and we're seeing more and more avatars and more bots, we're kind of getting a little bit confused maybe as to what's what. But those who are vibing in 5D, right, are beginning to tap into this inner place of knowing, and it's a frequency. So I'm going to discuss a little bit about this stuff, invite you in to these concepts and see if you can follow along. Now, you may think I'm nuts. Okay. You may think I'm crazy. You may find it interesting. You may find it an amazing revelation. And you may say, wow, this is exactly where I am. And I have been waiting for this information to truly crack with me. Well, I'm going to crack open the curtains a little bit. We're going to open the door a little bit. We're going to be able to let you look in. So when we're dealing with 5D, we're dealing with our frequencies, right? 5D new human, we're dealing inside of ourselves. That's the only place we as humans have any control. It's the only place we have any experience. It's the only thing that we know is in here. That's the 5D new human. We're connecting to our heart, which is the umbilical cord, to God, which is source energy, which is love and light, and that pulses through me. And when I'm connected to this frequency, I can know whatever it is I need to know, right? So when I open my eyes and I look, I can see anything around me. All I have to do is look at it and focus in it. Focus in on it and I can see it. Look at this, I can look at that. Look over here, I can see that. We're opening our eyes. 5D new human perception is we're not blocking anything. We're open to it all. So there isn't evil. Of course there's evil, but the evil is a frequency that you can feel. So the fact that you're looking at something doesn't make you evil. It makes you aware. It makes you mindful. It gives you 5D perception. And what's happening is we're all coming to this 5D perception because the frequencies are off the chart right now, right? We're all feeling it. We're all sensing it. Something just is different. Something is exciting. Something is wrong. Something is weird. Something is funky. Something is on change right now. The energies of change are in the air. That's 5D new human frequency. The 5D new human perception is we're seeing that. So how does that manifest in our life? Well, one of the things is we're looking for the peace. And what you get when you come to true 5D is you get the peace of being able to rise above everything so I don't have to vibrate with the frequencies around me. So if I see a bunch of people freaking out and everyone's going crazy, what do? You turn away. We do have this little DNA trigger inside of us that, we all want to go to the scene of the crime because we're all curious. But right now, we are so that curious little trigger inside of our brain. Some call it the amygdala hijacking, the reticular activator that just gets triggered and we move in. Well, AI and marketing people and the internet and the mainstream media and everyone has been constantly triggering. Look here, look there, look. We're all looking crazy. And you cannot keep up. There's just so much happening and it's so intense and it's so insane, right? So you try to keep up and you're trying to organize and you try to get it systematized. You try to get it written down. You try to get your book. You try to get your format. You're trying to use your AI algorithms to organize it all. And it's insane. We just zoom out of it. We zoom up to 5D. We watch it all. We don't have to vibrate with it. We don't have to allow ourselves to get sucked into the politics. We don't have to allow ourselves to get sucked into the fear. We don't have to get sucked into the worry. We don't have to get sucked into the problems. 99% of the stuff that happens in the world around you is not happening to you. You're aware of it because you can see it, right? So if I see something happening, I can go and vibrate in that frequency. But when you're truly vibing in 5D and you come to this inner place, and how do you know when you're truly in 5D? You feel amazing. It just feels wonderful. It feels like peace. So you take a deep breath, close your eyes just for 30 seconds and just slowly exhale. And as you're exhaling, just concentrate on your breath. Don't think about anything. Just notice what you feel in your belly. That's 5D perception. That's who you are at your source energy. That's who you are inside yourself. You are that source frequency. You are that love and light. That's what's pulsing through your chest. And you're connected to that source of love and light. And by the way, that's what life is. And we're all connected to that. And in that frequency, we're all one. It's just all one thing. So when you vibe in 5D, you can watch anything you want. It's like the remote control of life. You can zoom in and you can look at whatever you want to look at. You can also change the channel on anything you don't like. So once you find this inner place, it's amazing. What is it that robs us of this inner place? And when we look throughout human history, there have been traditions, there have been religions, there have been philosophies, right? There have been scientific experiments, and all trying to explain how we find this inner peace. And the only way to find the inner peace is you have to find your inner peace. You have got to consciously close your eyes, consciously feel within yourself life. You have to know that you are alive. You have got to tap into that resource. And you've got to grab hold of it because that's who you are. Because the world is going crazy right now. And the crazy is not slowing down. Because the 5D frequencies are so intense and all the lights are coming on and all information is coming out. All the lies, all the deceptions, all the craziness, everything that you've looked at throughout your life, every conspiracy theory, it's all coming to the surface, right? And it's freaking people out. It doesn't have to freak you out. You just zoom above it so you can look at it all. You can watch it all. You're not in the frequency unless you choose to. So the frequency to choose to find as 5D new humans, we choose to find the frequency of love and light in our own chest. It's in our own belly. It's in our own core. It's in our center. Up here, there's chaos right now because we're trying to connect the dots. We use our brain to to look for patterns, and we look for consistency, and we're looking for these things. Well, those things are not available to us up here in our head right now, because our heads are going crazy, because we're in the 3D matrix, which was amazing, and it still is amazing when you zoom out of it. When you zoom out of it and you have the remote control, you can look at whatever you want to look at, but you don't get sucked into it. And you realize that life, your life, 5D New Human Perception, your life is just like a movie. You're the starring character of the movie, and you can create and make the movie go whatever way you want. How? You live from here. You're writing the movie from your awareness. You're in this 5D space of awareness. You kind of know what's happening around you because you're not stuck in it. You're kind of just moving above it. So when something interests you, you move in, and you know what you move into is where you belong, because it feels amazing. It feels amazing. I feel amazing every time I do my 5D podcast. Even though only 3 people watch it, maybe you're one of the 3, right? It just feels amazing. And someday, someone is going to tap into this frequency with me. And many people are going to tap into this frequency with us, because there's hundreds of us. There are thousands of us. And we're already online, and we're already connecting, and we are the 5D New Human Movement. It's a perception. We're creating the new earth. You've heard all about it, right? We're in the new earth. Bible talks about the new system, the new earth, the kingdom of God. Kingdom of God is within you, right? It's a frequency that you tap into. What is it that robs us of tapping into our frequency? Well, one of the things that philosophy and religion and all these things talk about is our core values. So what is a core value, right? Core. Sound like 5D? It's in your core. It's in your chest. It's in your heart. So when we're interacting with the world around us, and we start to notice that, someone's asking us a question, and we kind of know if I give them the answer, that's not the answer that they're going to want to hear. So I change my core value. I change my core 5D vibrational frequency of truth. I change it by telling a deceptive story. You can call it a lie, right? I've been just watching the series Lost with my wife. It's an old series. We just kind of resurrected it up recently. And if you've seen the series, great.Maybe you'll recognize this. But in the story, the plane crashes, and there's this girl who was being, transported by a marshal, a U.S. marshal, an FBI guy. I don't know. He had handcuffs on or whatever. So he basically died, gets hurt in the crash. And now she is in this relationship with this guy who was a doctor, and they climbed the mountain. And now there's kind of a little bit of a connection between them. And you can sense that there's a connection through the narrative, right? And he, as the guy that the marshal is dying, the marshal says, "Where is she? Where is she?" And he realizes, and he finds in a piece of paper that, hey, that's the girl. And the girl is the one that he's been kind of connecting with. And he's kind of had this little attraction to, and they've been kind of working together, and there's like an attraction there. So now he's concerned, because he's like, oh, what is this, right? So all the frequencies that he had, all his 5D frequencies around this girl, and all the amazing things that were happening, right? He was in here, and all of a sudden something got triggered from the outside that made him question his own core center as to what he was feeling about her. So then he sees her, and he says, so she asks how he's doing, and she says, oh, by the way, why are you asking? And she deliberately does not tell him that she was basically there as his prisoner, that she was under arrest. And on the same token, he would not tell her that he knew. Both of those cases where neither of them were being honest. And this isn't religious. It's just they were not honest with their frequencies. So the minute that you start communicating with people in your life, you start communicating with your friends, you start communicating with your family, you start communicating from a place of deception. You start changing your point of view to satisfy the crowd around you. You got this core value of saying, what, I don't want to lie. And in that same frequency, right, of lying or not telling the truth, if you realize that that does not vibe with you, and if you're going to live in a situation when you're not going to tell the truth and you're going to be deceptive, you are going to cause yourself suffering. You are going to cause yourself chaos. You are going to cause your own inner frequencies to go crazy. It's going to add to your stress. It's going to add to your worries because you're not being true to your core. You're not in 5D perception. 5D perception is pure to the core. It's knowing who you are. It's being in your frequency and be okay with who you are. Be who you are. Say what you mean. Say what you mean. Be who you are, right? That creates stability and stableness. It creates peace. It creates peace of mind. It creates peace of body. It creates peace in life. That's 5D perception, right? So we can talk about lying and you can talk about all these things and punishment for lying, but all of that stuff really is just more narratives. It's only knowing the frequency. Know the frequency of telling the truth. You know the frequency of telling the truth. And you don't violate that frequency of telling the truth. Because by violating your own core, you create chaos and you create dissonance within yourself. And by the way, that's the only thing that you know. The only place that you live, the only place that we live as 5D new humans is in here. We live in our own frequency. And what is our internal frequency? And if we're lying and we're deceptive, right? Or we're pretending, we walk into a room and we put in our mask because that's what we can do. We can pretend we're happy when we're sad. We can play all these roles, right? And that's what the 3D matrix is. Everything is a game. Everything is a role. Everything is a production, and everything is constantly stimulating and constantly triggering our perceptions to make us act the way we're supposed to act. And we're controlled by external things that tell us what to do and how to say it and where to be and when to do it and whether it's right or whether it's wrong. Zoom out of all that and just come into here. 5D perception is knowing your truth, knowing you, right? It's not a religion. It's not a religion. You can attach it to your religion. You can attach it to your culture. You can attach it to your family. You can attach it to your upbringing. But it is a frequency inside of you. That's the 5D new human. That's it. That's the 5D new human frequency. Discover that frequency within you. And then you start to know when things are right and you know when things are not right. And then you'll start to discover, well, first of all, once you get this in yourself, you're going to get in it, you're going to tap it in, and it's amazing, and everything is great. And then, boom, a trigger is going to come, and you're going to get sucked back in. You're going to catch yourself, you're going to zoom out. And then pretty soon you get a little bit better at avoiding the traps that are set for you. Maybe you go a week with pure bliss and 5D perception, and boom, another trap shows up and you end up back in the trap. You zoom out of it, right? Pretty soon you zoom out of it, and pretty soon you are in 5D all the time. And when you're vibing in 5D all the time, you're in perfect frequency with life because everything around you vibes in 5D because 5D, remember, is source code. That is who we are. We are the source code as humans. We are consciousness, and universal consciousness creates our universal reality. But our only connection to it, your only connection to it is in here, and in here. It's all inside of you. That's 5D perception. It's the new kingdom, and it's the kingdom of God, and it's within you. And when you align your gut, that feeling, when you're right, you get your love and light in your heart going right, and then you attach those frequencies to what's happening around you, and you get your thoughts aligned, and you stay in harmony. Core strength, like a strong current that knows who you are. You are a 5D new human. That's the future human. That's who we are. From this frequency, we're building a new earth. And the new earth is not a new planet. It's a new perception. It's realizing that we are no longer going to be controlled by all the chaos around us, by all the amygdala hijacking, right? By all the triggers and all the reticular activators that get flied all around us, and all the fear triggers and all the anxiety triggers and all the friend triggers and all the worries and all the crap that just goes up in our head, and we're trying to figure it all out, and we can never shut it off because it never shuts off, right? Zoom to 5D. Deep breath in. Feel that core. Feel in your belly. Feel that peace that you are. That's the 5D new human. That's what this podcast is about, every episode. And I think I've showed you a couple of videos. I'm going to share one now. This is one of the advertisements that we're putting together, and we're hoping to start creating a new ad campaign. Maybe public service announcement. We just talk about love and light, right? Here's an example. Take a look. See what you think. The new Earth is here. The 5D new human has arrived. Are you at 5D yet? You are welcomed and invited here. It's a frequency. It's knowing who you are as a new human. Deep breath in. Feel your heart pumping. Know that you are a human being and that your frequency of life itself is love and light. And that's who we are as the 5D new humans. We're living our lives from this new place of heart coherence with our reality. We are mirror looping this love and light amongst one another. We're finding each other online. We're commenting with love and light. We're recognizing the positives. We're sharing the positives. We're uploading the positives. We're encouraging the positives. We're magnifying the positives. We are magnetically attracted to the love and light frequency because that's who we are. This is the new Earth frequency of the 5D new human. And it's right here, right now. And it's right inside your perception. It's right there. You just got to look at it. Notice what you're feeling in your belly and find what feels good. Find what feels good. That's the new human 5D vibrational frequency of love and light. We're creating the new Earth, and it's a new perception. And you're invited to join us. Help spread this message. Help share this vision. Are you at 5D yet? You're so invited. Peace. The Spiritual Quest. All right. How's the frequency in that video? How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel? Well, if it makes you feel amazing, wonderful, welcome to 5D. If you look at it critically and you say, oh, that's bubblegum bullshit. Oh, that's nonsense. Okay. How does that make you feel? How does watching that bubblegum nonsense make you feel? How does it make you feel when you call it that to your children who are looking at it? And your children are looking at it like, oh, I love this. And you say, oh, that's bubblegum bullshit. What are you doing to your children? Like when you rob a person of their own point of view, and you take your little inner anxieties and your little negative frequencies and you just transport them right out to the world around you. I don't like you. You're one of them Trump people. Oh, you're one of them liberal, progressive, insane, LGBTQ plus, whatever that is. Oh, you're one of them flat earth ridiculous people. Oh, you're one of them anti-vaxxers. You're one of them you're one of them kooks that doesn't believe in NASA. You don't think we went to the moon. Like, what are you, nuts? And you take all of this frequency. All of these are just frequencies that fly around you. In 5D, you can look at anything and you can know it. There is no information that you cannot look at and understand and know. The frequencies of not wanting to know, of hating this and not liking that, that's the chaos. That's the 3D matrix. That's what keeps us going. So you look inside of yourself and you say, what frequency am I? Am I a 5D new human? Am I a 5D new human? Are you a 5D new human? That's the topic of this podcast. We seek internally how to find our own peace of mind. We find our own peace and contentment, right? We vibe in this beautiful place and we see the world that way, right? And what we're doing collectively through the 5D New Human movement is we're discovering people who are sharing this information. And we're doing what we call mirror loop it. We're mirror looping it. I show it. Oh, I love that. Great comment. Thanks for your 5D perception share. Thanks for mirror looping this frequency. What an amazing experience. Because those of us at 5D, we are the witnesses. We are witnessing the transition from the 3D matrix into the 5D new earth. We're the witnesses. We're witnesses of this. We're mirror looping this frequency. We are the love and light truth. We're in the truth. We're witnesses. We are transferring and we are transmuting all of the chaos that we feel within us. We feel it collectively, but it's not in our core. 5D New Humans, we're going back to our core. And here's where it gets amazing. When we get tight into our core, and this is what's happening right now, and you've got the choice to be a part of it. AI, the artificial intelligence, and all these computers and all these tools that are out there for us, right? They're out there to serve us. And you know who they serve? Those in 5D. Those who have clarity of thought. Those who have clarity of frequency. Those who know who they are. Those who vibrate in the source frequency of love and light. Hope you're getting this, right? If you're vibing in this frequency, you know you're in truth. You know that you're in the right place, because the right place is not a narrative. It's not what's happening, right? Because any words can travel on any frequency. The 5D New Human frequency is the currency of truth. You're whole. You're vibing with the universe around you. That's what 5D perception is. Don't get lost in these words. Just feel the frequency. Feel where you feel amazing, right? Because all around us, all the time, are all these streams of information, all these channels of information. You just think of it just like water. Like there's just information transfers back and forth. And in every transmission currency, in every current that travels information, whether it's religious, whether it's political, whether it's, your national standards, whether it's your gender, or whatever the channels of information are, information travels back and forth. And the information that travels back and forth in any channel of information is transferring love and light. Everything is love and light. When you come to 5D and you vibe with 5D, you realize that every single thing that's out there vibrates in love and light. That's a big, 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 big 5D perception. I hope that you're in my family that's grasping this one, right? You are life force itself. You are the frequency of life itself. So when you're listening to people talk, and when you're watching energies and you're watching body languages and you're listening to what a person is presenting as far as a narrative is concerned, ignore the words. Ignore the words and feel the frequency. Feel the frequency of the person who is true to their core. They're communicating their honest perception. They're sharing out of love and light. And you can tell there's a certain credibility to their countenance, right? And you can feel that frequency. And you can know that they're telling their truth, right? Because they're communicating their love and light truth. Now, there may be someone on the other side who's doing the exact same thing. They're telling the exact opposite story. And they're telling the exact same story from the same frequency of love and light. Which of them is correct? That's a 5D perception. You know the answer to that. You don't need me to tell you. But I'll remind you, 5D perception is pure to your core. You know where you belong, right? So we find where we belong. We find the narratives that we like. We find the narratives that we resonate with, because we resonate where we resonate, because that's where we belong within the currency, within the universal currents around us. Like, we vibe in certain things that we like, and it comes from our upbringing. I like golf. Why? Well, because I grew up playing golf. Like, I like sports because I grew up with those things, right? I like the New England Patriots because I was from New England and they won football games. So I became a New England Patriot fan, right? So there's all these frequencies that we align with and we like with, right? But I can talk to my friends from Wisconsin, right? Who are, cheesehead fans, they're Green Bay to the core. They're just as kind. They're just as nice. They're just as loving. They're just as pure to the core as I am, right? We're not enemies. We're friends. Right? We're all part of this amazing, amazing, amazing tapestry of life. And there's no reason for us not to just love and light everything that's happening around us. That's what 5D perception is. That's what we're talking about right now. This is not something you're going to learn in a book. Someone's going to try to sell you something, right? There's nothing to buy. There's nothing to buy. There's just a frequency. And you know where you get it? You close your eyes, you take a deep breath, and you just feel it. So start your day that way. It's the second that you start to feeling, you start to get those negative frequencies, zoom out, take a deep breath, a nice, slow, deep breath, feel your chest, and just give yourself a couple of seconds to go back to the quietness of your own core. That's core strength. That's the source code. That's the pure source code of our core. And that's what's programming our future. That's what we're building right now with the AIs. And the core frequency of love and light, that's what's going to build our future. The war and the hatred and the anger and the control and the manipulation and all those things, those are narratives to scare you, right? The pure love and light frequency of wholeness, of completeness, of knowing who you are, that's the 5D new human. And the 5D new human, we don't think as fast as the AIs, but we resonate immediately. 5D new humans, we resonate. Zoom, you know where you belong. You know what feels right. You know what feels on. You know what feels off, right? You don't engage. You just watch. You watch. 5D new humans are the frequency that are creating the new earth, and the new earth is here right now. We're the new humans. This is the 5D New Human podcast. You're one of the first to hear it. I hope you like it. I hope you find it curious. I hope you find it interesting. Find my email on the channel. Send an email. Got questions? Send it a like. If you like it, give us a like. If you hate it, tell us that too. This is the 5D New Human Movement. This is the 5D podcast. This is the Spiritual Quest podcast. I love you, and I truly thank you for joining me today. And I hope that you're listening again. And I hope you'll, give it a share and give it a like. Peace.